Sri Lanka, the timeless jewel of the Indian Ocean. Rising like a teardrop from the waters of the Indian Ocean, Sri Lanka has captivated travelers, merchants, and conquerors for thousands of years. Known variously as Taprobana by the Greeks, Serendib by the Arabs, Ceylon by the Europeans, and today as Sri Lanka, the island has always been more than just a dot on the map, it has been a meeting point of worlds. Poets called it the Pearl of the Indian Ocean, a name that still feels true, not only for its glittering gemstones but for the richness of its culture, landscapes, and history. Geographically, Sri Lanka lies only 25 kilometers from India, separated by the narrow Pak Strait. Between the two lands stretches Adam's Bridge, also known as Ram Setu, a chain of limestone shoals once believed to be built by the legendary Prince Rama from the Hindu epic Ramayana. While today much of the bridge lies underwater, ancient chronicles suggest it was once passable by foot, connecting the two civilizations. This proximity to India shaped Sri Lanka's destiny. Waves of migrations, religious exchanges, and political ties have bound the two lands for millennia. Despite being smaller than Ireland, Sri Lanka holds astonishing variety. The coastal plains give way to lush highlands, mist-shrouded mountains, and fertile river valleys. The island is divided into 9 provinces and 25 districts, each with its own identity. Colombo, the bustling commercial capital, stands as the gateway to the world. Nearby, Sri Jayawardhanapura Kotte serves as the official administrative capital, a quieter city hidden among greenery. The Central Highlands tell another story entirely. At their heart lies Kandy, once the proud capital of an independent kingdom that resisted colonial rule longer than any other. Kandy remains sacred, for within the Temple of the Tooth lies one of Buddhism's most revered relics, a tooth believed to belong to the Buddha himself. Pilgrims from around the globe travel here to pay homage, especially during the Grand Esala Perahera festival, when processions of dancers, drummers, and elephants illuminate the streets in a dazzling display of devotion. From Kandy, winding railways climb into the tea country. British planters introduced tea in the 19th century, and it quickly became the island's green gold. Today, Sri Lanka is the world's largest exporter of Ceylon tea, famed for its aroma and quality. The slopes of Nawara Eliya and Ella are draped in endless emerald plantations, dotted with colonial-era bungalows and waterfalls crashing into deep valleys. Towering above it all is Pitturudalagala, Sri Lanka's tallest peak at over 2,500 meters. The rivers flowing from these highlands, such as the mighty Mahaweli, have long sustained the island's people. Ancient kings mastered hydraulic engineering to such a degree that even today, colossal reservoirs known as wuas still function as they did over 1,000 years ago. The Sigiriya region, with its iconic Lion Rock fortress, showcases both natural beauty and human genius. Built in the 5th century by King Kashyapa, the rock citadel was a palace, fortress, and artistic marvel, decorated with colorful frescoes that still survive against the odds of time. Sri Lanka is equally famous for its wildlife. Few countries pack such biodiversity into such a small space. Elephants roam freely in national parks, and herds gather dramatically in Minaria during the annual gathering, one of the largest elephant congregations on Earth. Leopards stalk silently in Yala National Park, while sloth bears forage through Wilpatu's forests. Off the southern coast, blue whales, the largest animals ever known to exist, can be seen breaching the waves. The island has been described as one of the best places on Earth to see such giants of both land and sea. For all its natural wonders, Sri Lanka has also been shaped by centuries of global exchange. Arab traders brought Islam and wove the island into the spice trade. The Portuguese arrived in the 16th century, followed by the Dutch, and finally the British, each leaving behind forts, churches, and linguistic traces. Colonialism reshaped society, especially through the plantation system, which brought Tamil laborers from India to work the tea estates, forever altering the island's demographics. Today, Sri Lanka is a mosaic of communities. The Sinhalese, who make up around 75% of the population, are mostly Buddhist and speak Sinhala. The Tamil population, concentrated in the north and east, is largely Hindu, though Christian Tamil communities also thrive. Muslims, mostly Moors of Arab descent, add another dimension to the cultural landscape, while smaller communities, Burghers of European descent, Malays, and the indigenous Veda people, enrich the island's diversity. This blend has created a society where festivals overlap and flavors mix, even if history has also seen tension. The darkest chapter of modern Sri Lanka was the civil war, which raged from 1983 to 2009. The conflict between the government and the separatist Tamil Tigers devastated communities and left deep scars. More than 100,000 people lost their lives, and entire regions were displaced. Since the war's end, Sri Lanka has worked to rebuild, reconcile, and move forward. Cities once torn by conflict now welcome tourists again, and young Sri Lankans increasingly seek unity over division. One cannot speak of Sri Lanka without speaking of its cuisine, for food is a mirror of its culture. The island's curries are legendary: fiery crab from Jaffna, coconut-rich dal, jackfruit curry, and delicate milk rice known as kiribath. Street food tempts with crispy vadai, soft string hoppers, and spicy short eats, while the coasts deliver tuna, prawns, and cuttlefish fresh from the sea. Cinnamon, cloves, pepper, and cardamom, once the treasures of empires, still flavor daily meals. UNESCO has even recognized Sri Lankan hoppers, a bowl-shaped pancake, as part of the world's intangible heritage. Music and dance are equally vibrant. The Low Country drumming traditions pulse with ritualistic power, while Kandyan dances dazzle with acrobatics and intricate costumes. The influence of colonial Europe and African slaves brought the lively baila music, still popular at parties and celebrations. Today, Sri Lankan artists experiment with pop, hip-hop, and fusion, keeping ancient rhythms alive in modern ways. Sports fuel national pride. Volleyball may be the official national sport, but cricket reigns supreme. The 1996 World Cup victory is etched into the island's memory, uniting millions in celebration. Streets flood with fans whenever the national team plays, their chants echoing from Colombo to Jaffna. Netball, rugby, and martial arts like Ngampara add to the athletic spirit, while carom boards remain a common sight in every household and tea shop. Beyond its shores, Sri Lanka maintains strong ties to the world. As a member of the non-aligned movement, it has balanced relations between East and West. It trades heavily with China, India, and Japan, while its diaspora, especially in Canada, the UK, and the Middle East, serves as bridges between nations. And despite being a small island, Sri Lanka has contributed uniquely to global culture, from exporting cinnamon to inspiring the very word serendipity, derived from the island's old Persian name, Serendip. Sri Lanka is not simply a country, it is a living story. It is the sound of temple bells mixing with the call to prayer, the sight of elephants marching beside pilgrims, the taste of tea leaves kissed by mountain rain. It is resilience after war, joy after sorrow, and beauty that endures through centuries of change. To walk through Sri Lanka is to step into a world where the past and present embrace each other, and where every stone, waterfall, and smile carries a tale waiting to be told.